G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I've just jumped on a ferry here and I don't know where it's going, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to do a round trip. I finished off early here on Saturday. As you can see, it's a beautiful autumn day here in Sydney. It was blue skies before, but now it's just clouded over, but it's still fine, it's still beautiful, and a glorious day. There's lots of people about. As you can see, the ferries have quite a few passengers on them, and Sydney is slowly getting its mojo back. So what I want to do now is just do a ferry and chat rather than a walk and talk, and take you through a book summary. And today's book summary is entitled Good People by Tjan. Tjan is the author of this book entitled Good People, and this book is mainly about employment practices and how to harness the excellence of your staff, of your team, and of the talented people that you have working in your organisation. Because what the author here reminds us of is that goodness and good people benefit the bottom line as well. So this book talks about, once again, how to harness the benefits of great team members. And it's said that if you've got good people working in your organisation and they're working together and leveraging off each other and making the most of their skills, then that's going to benefit not only your customers, not only your employees, but also the profitability of your organisation. So I've worked for many corporates over the past 35, 40 years. I've worked for IBM during its heyday. I've worked for a top tier law firm. I've worked for a tier one recruitment firm. I've worked for a number of organisations in the telecommunications space. And at the end of the day, the quality of those people make a huge difference to the organisation and to the customer experience and to the profitability, as the author suggests. Because, as we know, a company is only as good as the people it keeps. Just dwell on that for a moment. A company is only as good as the people it keeps. Not the people that it has, but the people that it's able to attract and keep. There's been a number of times over the years where my role has been made redundant in a lot of these organisations, and I've seen a lot of great people leave some really good organisations for various reasons. But what normally happens is that every 5 or 6 or 10 years there's an economic cycle which causes havoc, and what organisations are forced to do in order to survive and stay alive and to keep on playing is to reduce their staffing levels. And what normally happens is that they start cutting the people who cost the most, which is not always the right way to go, according to the author, because the people who cost the most, the people who have the most experience, are the ones that you probably need to retain, because there's a lot of experience and knowledge and wisdom that are held by these people, and it makes sense to hold on to them for as long as possible. So the author then comes across and talks about another thing that very, very few people, I guess, focus on these days, and it's a balancing act where we talk about the benefits of skills as opposed to values and principles. And sadly, in today's work environment, organisations seem to value skills much more than principles and values, which potentially has an impact, a longer term impact on those organisations. What the author also reminds us of, and I've experienced this before, that a happy employee, an employee that feels as if their contribution is valued and can see their contribution, is more engaged. And by being more engaged means that you can add greater value and you can be a lot more productive and make a bigger impact on both the clients, your fellow peers, your fellow workers, as well as the organisation at whole. So the organisation, or the author here introduces us to something that I've never heard before, but it's called the goodness pyramid. The goodness pyramid. What the hell is a goodness pyramid? But the author then informs us that the goodness pyramid is the key to keeping good people around, and starts with being truthful, having an organisation which is based on truth. And they then go on to talk about the fact that there are two types of goodness, and the two types of goodness that the authors dwell on are competency. So you can be good in terms of competency, and you can be good in terms of values, principles and morals. So we need, I guess, to harness and to have an organisation that is able to leverage both of those goodness types, once again, competency and values, and to look a little bit deeper and to search the organisation and to understand and find out what the culture of the organisation is. As I said, I've worked for a number of organisations over the years, and each organisation definitely has a culture. I worked in an organisation once called Advantra, which was a subsidiary or a grouping together of employees from IBM, Telstra, and with capital from Lend-Lease. But we had two different employee groups. Telstra, which was from a government-based organisation, which was Telecom, which basically merged with OTC to become Telstra. But this was in the early days when the predominant culture was that of a public service mentality. And we also had employees from IBM, which was probably one of the most revered and most excellent organisations in the world, and a leader in the IT industry and space. So we had the smashing together of these two groups of people, and there were two very, very distinct and very, very diverse and diametrically opposed, should I say, work cultures. You had the entrepreneurial spirit and the openness of the IBM personnel, and you had the very, very political and mentality and the protectionist mentality of the Telstra employees, which was all very, very interesting. So I saw this panning out over a couple of years, but it gave me an understanding of how two organisations can be so very, very different, and even when they come together, there can be some major differences which take years to unravel and to sort out. So the culture of the employee. So what we learn about the culture. The author here talks about the fact that we need a truth, we need a foundation, and truth is all about humility, self-awareness and integrity. We also need compassion within an organisation, as well as wholeness. Let's examine these a little bit more and find out what they mean from the author's perspective. Just bear me, I'll get my notes right. So a crucial point, according to the author, a crucial point is of goodness. A crucial point of goodness is compassion, I should say. And you need to be open, empathetic and generous to develop compassion. You can't be selfish and be compassionate. So once again, compassion comes with being open, empathetic and generous. And compassion is being selfless. So that's one of the things that an organisation needs to try and generate, is a team environment where people give in a selfless way to support and help each other grow and develop. We need to be able to examine how others feel, think and see or experience the world. We need to create a balance and a healthy work environment in order to be successful, according to the author. And once again, it's based on openness, empathy and generosity. So the author here also introduces us to a new concept called the 24/3 rule. I love this, and I think we can all benefit from the 24/3 rule. And the 24/3 rule is very, very simple. So basically, you need to wait 24 seconds, 24 minutes, or 24 hours before responding to someone else's idea. So what we need to do is zip it, keep our mouths shut when somebody comes up with a new idea, and just wait. Don't react, don't respond immediately, and employ the 24/3 rule that this author talks about, and wait 24 seconds, 24 minutes, 24 hours before you respond and give feedback. And some of the other things that we can start employing in our work principles and our management style is to ask people, do you enjoy working here? And just shut up and listen. This is a great point for managers and for people who have teams, even for parents. Share what you have, contribute wherever you can, but spend a lot more time listening to employees and the people around you rather than blabbing off your mouth all the time. And we've come to the last point from this book, where we need to introduce wisdom, love and respect as key components of wholeness, because the author here talks about wholeness. So what does wholeness mean? And the author says wholeness is a way of thinking, but it all comes out of sharing wisdom, love and respect. So the last couple of points, the author harps on the importance of seeking growth and development into becoming something or someone who is bigger than better. If we can incorporate that into our thought process, I've worked with a number of fantastic managers over the years, and whenever you talk to them, the principles that they always talk about, the guiding principle is, how does this contribute to yours and my growth and development? So, and it's all about caring about the well-being of others, and the incorporation of the wisdom, which is basically applied knowledge. So I think I'll leave it there because I've been talking for quite a while. We've arrived at the other side of the harbour, so it's probably time to kick off another 5 a.m. club, just to complete my couple for this journey. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5 a.m. Club, where we go through and talk about the book summary entitled Good People, from the author Tjan. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's make the most of this day. Let's partner, let's join up and be partners in each other's growth and development, where we can be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our boards, the zephyr that bellows our sails, and the propeller which churns up the water and pushes us in a direction where we desire to go. So I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, and signing off from Jim's 5am Club. I'm well into my 900 vlogs now and closing in on my 1,000. I never thought it would be possible that within a year I could achieve such a massive milestone. So thank you for all of those who have supported me along the way, and wishing you all the very best. And until we chat again, Yassas, Vilakya, and bye for now.